Welcome to the Success Partner Podcast. I'm Daya Naef, your host and founder of The Success Partner. On this show, we dive into the stories of attorneys, business professionals, and entrepreneurs who have navigated the ups and downs of building successful careers and businesses. From the strategies they've implemented to the challenges they've overcome, we're here to uncover the insights that can help you on your own journey to success. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Welcome back, everybody, to the Success Partner Podcast. I am your host, Daya Naef, and today I have Paris Williams of Next Level Financial with me as our guest.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. So tell us about your business and how you got started.
Well, Next Level Financial was actually started by my husband, James, when we were in Chicago. And when you work in finance, you get a lot of people who will come and ask you for help. So he was working his regular job in finance at the University of Chicago. And some of our friends who own businesses would ask him to help on the side. So that's really how it got started, very organically. I was working my job in school leadership, and he was doing this on the side. And I would help out from time to time, but I wasn't involved full time. Now, when we went in all the way in and decided that we really wanted to operationalize our business and go all in, was when we moved to Georgia in 2022. And that's when I started working full time in the business. So it's a fractional CFO company that's focused on working with real estate companies.
Fabulous. All right. And so that was just 2 years ago. So congratulations on getting the ball rolling and jumping in with both feet. So y'all both have an education background?
No. So my background was in education. So I started out as a third grade teacher. And went on to teach in public school and later became a school principal. And then I worked in an international school. So I spent most of my career working in education. And I always tell people that's where I learned leadership. That's where I learned how to bring stakeholders together. That's where I learned operations, budgeting. All of that really was through my school leadership roles. And so that's my background. And then James has always worked in certain capacity within finance. So he started out as an auditor, and then he went on to work for some real estate developers on the finance side. So you bring those two together and pow, there you have it. Next Level Financial. I always say it's so great to have a background in education because when it comes to finance, I think sometimes people start to get real fancy with explaining things. And, you know, I always say part of my role is to really be a translator to say, you know, business owners really deeply understand their business. They might not know what you're talking about with customer acquisition cost. So you just have to make it plain for people. And really that's what you're doing as an educator is you're not trying to look smart and be the smartest person in the room. You're trying to make sure that whatever you're there to teach, that it translates, you know, that people get it. So that's part of what I do for our business.
I love that people get it. Do you ever feel like you're talking to a bunch of third graders, even though they're business people?
No. I mean, we work with some pretty cool people.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, it's one of the beautiful things about having your own business is you get to choose your clients, right? You say yes or no. So actually, we learn a lot from our clients. Most of them have grown their businesses over the years. There are a lot of family businesses, which we love that because we're a family business. In some cases, it's second generation taking over the business. And so they're really smart people and they're cool people. And they know that they need some support in this area. So for the most part, they're very much an open book. So no, I can't say they're third graders. They're actually really, really, I mean, no disrespect to third graders. I hung out with them for a very long time. They're cool people too. But no, the business owners that we work with are very down to earth and very open, and we love working with them.
Yeah. Can you share an impactful story from your business from lately?
Yeah, this this is new. Speaking on generation passing, just maybe last month, one of our clients transitioned ownership from the original founders to the CEO bought the company. I can share this because it's all public
Mhm.
information at this point, but while we were in process, it was not. But now it's totally public. So from again that first generation who started the family, started this family business, it passed ownership on to a couple of the sons and the CEO who was there. They bought the business, and it's a huge deal. It was a amazing thing for us to be a part of that because obviously the finance is a big part of any sort of business transaction like that.
Mhm.
So it just felt like really an impactful time for the business. And it shows that this business will continue to live on because, a lot of times businesses start and they close and they might be around for 5 years or maybe 10. And sometimes they don't make it to that next generation.
Mhm.
And so for us to be a part of that felt really good.
Yeah. So if I'm a business owner and I'm listening right now, like how do I know when I need to hire you?
That's a great question. One of the big distinctions that I think folks need is understanding the difference between your accountant who
Mhm.
gets your financials in order and a fractional CFO. So, really, your accountant or your controller, if you're a larger business, is making sure that your financials are clean, staying up to date with the day to day. And if your business is rapidly growing, you certainly have an accountant on the team. We have seen some cases where the owner or a family member is still doing the accounting, and we can help with that.
Mhm.
But for the most part, the folks have an accountant in place. They're in growth mode. They're trying to figure out and have some tough questions about investments that they want to make. Maybe they want to hire a couple of new people on the team
Mhm.
or bring in another aspect of business. And they're not really sure how to evaluate on the finance side whether they're making a good decision or not, which direction to go. So the folks we've worked with, they're really used to going off of their gut, and their gut has gotten them really far. I mean, some of the companies are very large companies that have been operating a long time, but they get to a place where they realize they really want, in addition to like using their gut, they want to have some financial data, some financial analysis. So, for example, one of our clients wanted to build out a bonus structure for the
Mhm.
team
Okay.
instead of just like, okay, I think we can give them this much for this. They had us build out multiple models, multiple ways that they could do a bonus structure and present it to their board. So it slows it down, right? Like the CEO who used to just like make a decision and send something out
Mhm.
next week. It's like, no, we meet with their leadership team. We build out that plan. We present it to the board with them. It's all in collaboration. And then from there, they're making a decision based off of their where they are financially.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I know most of your upstarts, they're a person with a great idea and they just fly by the seat of their pants until they get to a certain point. But then there's that saying, what got you here won't get you there.
So true. It's so painful, but it's true, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which, do you have any good business books that you would recommend?
One of my favorites is pretty old school, but E-Myth. I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was late to the game. I was reading education books for like 20 years. And so once I started reading and James was reading business books all along and I was like, okay. It just
Mhm.
didn't connect. Well, now, I read E-Myth probably 2 years ago, and you would have thought it was a brand new book. It had just been released.
It's a
I
classic.
mean, it's a classic, but just really the mindset, the whole idea around the technician doing the work, the manager in operations and systems, and then the entrepreneur for vision and strategy.
Mhm.
Like I see people like right now with a $10 million company and they're still somewhat in the technician and manager role, like not getting that they can move up to the vision and strategy level. So
Mhm.
I love that book and I love the storytelling. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's definitely a classic. And if anybody's listening to this and has not read it, you need to get it right now.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. So, what do you do for fun?
Ooh, I do solo travel.
Okay.
So, my first trip, I'm trying to think of my first trip, was to Panama. So I was 40 years old and I had never used my passport. I had
Oh.
only been in the great United States. And I said, I'm 40 years old. I need to, get some experiences and get a stamp on my passport. So I went to Panama. It was actually for a real estate event, but
Mhm.
it was like work and fun. And I was like, this is amazing. This wasn't that hard. And let's see, my next trip, I went to Europe because my name's Paris. And you would imagine the question I get all the time is, have you been to Paris?
Mhm.
And I had to always say no. So I decided to go to Paris. That was a couple years ago on a solo trip. I also
Yeah.
took the train to London. And, it's just one of those things where I'm married with 3 kids, but I think it's good to have times where I'm on my own. I always say I'm not alone. God is with me, but
Mhm.
I'm just able to relax, not ask anybody where they want to go or what they want to eat. I'm just on my own. And then I come home refreshed and ready to do what I need to do. So that is like my number one favorite thing to do. Now, every year I plan at least one solo trip.
Yeah, I love that too. I've been a long time solo traveler as well, and it's just I like the adventure of it, and
Yes.
I don't and I like the not having to be accountable for other people.
Listen, when I was in Paris, there was one night. It was probably midnight. I wasn't that far from the Eiffel Tower. But I got up. First of all, I was reading a book and I was just up, enjoying, living my best life. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to walk over to the Eiffel Tower right now? Didn't have to ask anybody. Got my clothes on. It's midnight, okay? I don't normally do this kind of thing. And there was just a level of freedom and joy that I had from like, I just got up and I didn't have to wake anybody up. I didn't have to ask anybody. I just went. I took a nice walk. I looked at it. It was so beautiful, all lit up. And then I came on home.
Yeah, and you have that experience with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing. So, how do our viewers and listeners get a hold of you?
They can go to nextlevelfinancial.co. I'm on LinkedIn all the time. I'm obsessively on LinkedIn. It's probably a problem. If you find me on LinkedIn and connect with me, I will connect with you. It's my favorite spot to be, to meet and connect with people. And yeah, like we just really love what we do. And I know there's a ton of fractional CFOs out there. Like it's kind of a crowded space. But I always tell people it's not really even about competition. It's about who you are and how you do the work, right? Like
Mhm.
you work a lot with attorneys.
Mhm.
There's a million of them, but you want to work with the one that you connect with,
Mhm.
right? And
Yes,
so what we're trying to do is build something that other folks connect with and they see our heart for the work and our heart for their businesses. And then, we'll go from there. But if you find me on LinkedIn, I will definitely connect with
I love that. Yeah, same here. I'm a big LinkedIn person. It's my people, my
you.
community.
My people. Totally.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Again, everybody listening, this is Daya Naef. I am the host of the Success Partner podcast. Today we had Paris Williams of Next Level Financial, and her information will be in the show notes. And stay tuned. We always have great things happening here.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the Success Partner Podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation and found some valuable takeaways to apply to your own business journey. Remember, this show is brought to you by The Success Partner, where we help small law firms and business owners achieve unparalleled success through strategic guidance, operational excellence, and effective marketing. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, visit thesuccesspartner.net to learn more. Until next time, keep striving for success, and I will see you in the next episode.